over to you.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Brooke. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon for those of you who are in the time zones where it's still afternoon, and for those of you on the West Coast, it's good morning still. I want to thank GSI for sponsoring this webinar. And my name is Peter Lopes, and for the past 8 years, I've worked for Canon Information Imaging Solutions. We're a wholly owned subsidiary of Canon. And if I can learn how to go to the next slide, I'll be okay, wouldn't I? There we go. So who's Canon? I think most of you probably know Canon because of our cameras, our copiers, printers, scanners, and the like. But Canon also has many other divisions, such industries as medical, security devices, industrial solutions, and more. We're in the software division of Canon. Canon was founded in 1937, and Canon Americas was founded in 1963, and our Americas headquarters is located on Long Island in Melville, which is part of New York. Last year, we had $37 billion in revenue and about 200,000 employees worldwide. Canon is listed on both the New York Stock Exchange and the Tokyo Exchange. And one thing that we really recognize globally for is our imaging technology. The same imaging technology that you see in our cameras, our copiers, printers, and the like. And also you'll understand it's our imaging technology that we also provide in our software solutions. Because Canon has an AP automation solution, a procure to pay, that's integrated with JD Edwards Enterprise One. In 2020, we were voted the 4th most admired company in the computer category by Fortune magazine, and also one of the world's most ethical companies by the Ethisphere Institute. We're very proud of that. And something that a lot of people really don't know is that Canon has been a top 5 US patent earner for the past 34 years. Last year, 2020, we were 3rd with 3,226 patents issued to Canon. We have been transforming organizations of all sizes in all industries around the world through intelligent automation. Our advanced digital technologies provide document capture with our best-in-class optical character recognition, or OCR technology, called Iris, with more than 3,000 customers globally. Advanced workflow capable of modeling even the most complex workflows and their rules. Content management, used by hundreds of organizations globally to store and manage their critical documents. Analytics, presenting easy to read, real-time analytics of your critical information generated in our solutions. And mobile and cloud capability, access to our solutions via mobile devices anywhere in the world, and solutions can be installed on-premise or in the cloud. In today's webinar, we're going to review the importance of what your invoices are telling you. We'll look at the invoices, can be telling you about cash flow, corporate spend, operational performance, supplier relationships, and risks. And we will examine how you can better listen to your invoices and what they are telling you. The importance of AP data is what we're going to discuss next. Best-in-class AP departments long ago realized that there is a wealth of valuable information that exists within their accounts payable departments. The data in AP represents a deep well of untapped financial and business information that can be extracted and converted into intelligence of great value to your business. In an automated environment, accounts payable can provide insights into areas such as cash management, outstanding liabilities, aging reports, payment terms, days payable outstanding, fraud prevention, and other critical information. Enterprises that take a data-driven approach to AP put themselves in a better position to manage their cash flow, accelerate procure-to-pay performance, and ultimately drive more value to the organization's bottom line. As you can see in this slide, 1/3 of all departments surveyed in the late 2019 Ardent Partners survey, completed only a few months before the COVID pandemic started, say that their reliance on data and intelligence is critical to drive projects, improve performance, and achieve goals. I expect that this data is still relevant today, and perhaps even more so with company employees working remotely or in the office. So if your department isn't working to better leverage your data, you're probably selling yourself short. Many AP leaders are implementing a pointed plan of attack to thrive in the emerging age of business intelligence. The improvement of AP's reporting and analytics reflects the distinct view that there are real opportunities to be had in the age of business intelligence. Today's enterprises are fueled by outcomes and the means by which to predict those outcomes based on real-time intelligence. AP should be an active participant in the development of cash management and spend management strategies, such as on resident data and insights it can provide. But in order to accomplish this, they will have to migrate to electronic processes in order to be able to leverage a real-time information data stream. Manual processing will not provide that information. So how do we look into the benefits that can obtain or unlocking the information contained in your supplier's invoices? As this slide depicts, the key results from automating the accounts payable process from procure to pay solutions is to improve the capability of the enterprise to eliminate data silos, ensure data accuracy, and provide visibility to critical information across the enterprise. Let's now take a look at the 5 areas identified in our agenda for today. I think they were cash flow, corporate spend, operational performance, supplier relationships, and risks. Let's start with cash flow. Good place to start. And does affect the cash flow of the enterprise when you have an automated solution. Today, AP data is extremely important to the smooth operation of the finance function. Enterprises have many uses for AP data, from supplier management to forecasting and budget planning. However, cash flow analysis is one of the most important uses of financial intelligence that is derived from accounts payable data. There are many causes for poor cash controls in an enterprise, but they are nearly all derived from one specific source, a manual AP process. First of all, we have key information is not being captured because in a manual process, the manual collection of that key information takes extra time, and most departments in this type of environment don't have the extra time to collect this data. Second, even though the data may be evident, it is usually poorly organized, so that AP employees might have to look in multiple places in order to aggregate the data for further review. Third, timeliness is not usually given in any manual process. People are universally acknowledged as being slower than computers in processing data. So by the time the key information has been collected and assembled in a readable manner, too much time has typically passed when that information would be the most helpful to your business. Fourth, if your financial system is electronic, and most are today, many times the integration with other electronic solutions such as a procurement system, logistics, scanning, or document capture, and more, is non-existent or they're poorly integrated. And finally, if the information coming out of accounts payable is difficult for decision makers to access, whether in the office or on the go, then it will go unused in assisting the making of important real-time business decisions. For suppliers, an early payment discount is a way of improving cash flow by speeding up customer payments and thereby reducing their day sales end outstanding, DSO. For buyers, early payment discounts mean a lower cost of goods and are likely to represent an attractive return on the company's cash. Either side of the business equation are provided with cash flow benefits, so the higher the percentage of early payment discounts that can be captured, then the greater the positive effects on your cash flow, and your partners for that matter. And as you can see in this chart, the higher the automation, the greater the percent of early payment discounts that can be captured, and are typically captured by those incorporating the automation. Let's move on now to corporate spend from both the internal and supplier sides. Excuse me. Like cash flow management, spend management is a very high priority for many organizations. As shown in this chart, it is already very important to a third of the organizations responding to the Institute of Financial Management, IOFM, survey, and another 60% say that spend management will either be more important or slightly more important going forward. The message here is that spend management is definitely becoming a high priority for many enterprises, if it is not already a high priority for them. In this slide, the IOFM survey identifies the importance of procure-to-pay solutions being aligned with spend management goals. The survey identified 60% of procure-to-pay respondents expect that spend management will be more important to the organization, and 50% that the supplier management will be more important. Nearly a tie here. What is your quest? Best-in-breed procure-to-pay solutions have embedded reporting capabilities to capture real-time data on savings, such as supplier spend, spend by product, spend by region or business unit, and much more. This data is then analyzed and put into a digestible format so that you and your team can improve efficiency and compliance, uncover average spending, and thereby save more money for your organization. Every organization likes that. Better spend management can have a significant effect on procurement by reducing non-compliant spending, contract compliance, lower the cost of goods purchased, help to build stronger bonds between business partners, and reduce supply chain volatility, which is anything that occurs outside the bounds of the supply chain system in the way it was originally designed to operate. From a finance perspective, the greatest impact is in two areas: more accurate cash forecasting and a more streamlined audit process. Supplier issues result in supply chain and cash problems. But the bottom line is that better supply chain management can yield significant benefits to all participants in the supply chain. Moving on to operational performance. The technical way to measure operational performance is to calculate the ratio of output gained to the input expended. Operational expenditures, capital expenditures, and people resources, revenue, customer satisfaction, and quality are all among the elements included in the calculation of operational performance. This slide gives an example of our actionable data and analytics within our AP automation solution. It's to measure the operational performance factors from the previous slide. You must have timely and actionable data from your procure-to-pay solution. Without this data, it will be impossible to measure the effectiveness of your procure-to-pay environment. Such things we measure is number of invoices processed per individual, per day, per week, per month, per year, what exceptions there were, where the particular bottlenecks might be, and a number of other specific pieces of data that would be important for your performance measurement. Clearly, AP appears destined for greater things when you look at this slide. However, several sizable barriers exist between AP and its vaunted higher ground. Exceptions remain the bane of AP's existence. Everybody can pretty much agree on that, because invoice exceptions slow invoice processing to a crawl. They create detrimental bottlenecks and mute efficiency and effectiveness. Two other long-standing pressures on this slide prove that although AP has good momentum, it has not moved beyond many of the operational deficiencies that it has historically faced. Lengthy invoice approval times and too much paper also mean that AP must overcome traditional challenges daily in order to free itself from the trappings of the back office. With tactical pressures continuing to threaten the strategic value of many AP departments, AP leaders must respond with technology and program-led strategies to hold them off and ultimately deliver success. You might be wondering why AP departments cite exceptions as such a big challenge. And this slide will show you that. For an invoice to be approved, it must be matched and reconciled against the underlying purchase order to ensure that the payment matches what the vendor supplied as the previously agreed upon terms. When the invoice information is incomplete or does not correspond to what was expected, an exception is created. There are a variety of underlying causes of exceptions, and more often than not, the problems that AP must solve are not of its own making. Excuse me. The top source of invoice exceptions is caused by a discrepancy between the purchase order and the information on the invoice. But this slide shows you that there are also many other reasons for exceptions. Lack of a purchase order, incorrect purchase order, failure to deliver the goods and services, coding errors, etc. The benefits of automating operation performance can positively impact in automating the procure to pay process, as shown in the graph. Excuse me, I'm going to just take a quick swig of water here. Thank you for that interruption. Let's start again. Operational performance can be positively impacted by automating the procure to pay process, as shown in this graph from a recent IOFM survey. Automation of the process increases the number of invoices a full-time employee, or FTE, can process in a given time period, and thereby lowering the cost of processing a single invoice. But the more invoices an individual is able to process, the lower the cost of processing that invoice. We're going on to supplier relationships here. Supplier relationships are affiliations with the companies that supply your enterprise with goods and services. The mistake that many companies make is to focus on one trait of their suppliers, price. And who doesn't focus on price? Both the business and consumer worlds have been impacted by the advent of smart systems that blend process automation, cognitive intelligence, and real-time operations. Smart business systems learn from repeated use and can provide finance leaders with the power of foresight and intelligence. Within the world of AP, smarter systems can translate into new levels of efficiency and effectiveness, such as the next level of automation, near complete elimination of menial and manual tasks, touchless and holistic invoice and payment management, predictive analytics for forecasting, budgeting, and planning, and machine learning-led intelligence that can revolutionize the data that flows through your accounts payable. This is a game changer for AP, enabled by the type of innovative technologies we have previously discussed. Smarter systems will fundamentally change the value that AP delivers to the enterprise. Over time, we will see AP shifting from a transaction processing function to one that is charged with delivering exceptional customer service, helping mitigate fraud and compliance risks, providing actionable data and information, optimizing payments to suppliers, and driving continuous process improvement through innovative technologies. Let's complete our discussion of the importance of AP data by examining the risks that accounts payable has to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Lately, fraudsters have stepped up their attacks on the AP departments, as shown here from the results of an IOFM survey in 2020. Interpol, the FBI, the IRS, and many states' attorneys general warn that phishing attacks and business email compromise schemes are on the rise. The operational disruption caused by the sudden move to remote working is a golden opportunity for fraudsters. And in 2020, they started taking advantage of that. 30% of AP leaders say that their organizations have experienced one fraud attempt since the beginning of the 2020 year. 40% of that 30% responding organizations have experienced multiple attacks. And unless organizations improve control and visibility over the remote working environment, the chance of experiencing loss is high. There are many different types of fraud that an enterprise needs to be aware of and implement controls to mitigate these schemes. Whether it be schemes from the supplier side or internal schemes, an enterprise needs to be aware of each type and how to not only recognize and detect each one, but also how to prevent them from occurring or reoccurring. Without visibility into what is happening, there is no way to stop risks from occurring. Automated procure-to-pay solutions provide that real-time insight into the entire chain of custody of an invoice, something manual systems cannot provide. An automated procure-to-pay solution will track the history of an invoice and its approval process, establish and enforce established approval policies, and detect and log any deviation from those policies. Because the invoice details are automatically captured upon its receipt, an invoice cannot be changed or discarded without a record of that occurrence and who did it. And reports from the auditable database are available on a real-time basis. And the database is one database that contains all data accessed by all individuals. So how to listen to your invoices a little better. I'll now complete the webinar by identifying how you can listen to those invoices that you have. All business functions, not just AP, can benefit from innovative technologies. Automation has entered its prime, where even small enterprises have the ability to access transformative technology. The advanced technologies shown on this slide have the potential to make a significant impact on the modern day AP automation. The incorporation of artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, mobile AP solutions, and agile reporting dashboards are increasingly being targeted by enterprises for use in their accounts payable solutions. And additional technologies such as blockchain, machine learning, and digital payments are increasingly being evaluated and, where appropriate, embraced. Artificial intelligence has the ability to transform the way businesses operate and is showing up in AP automations, allowing it to learn over time. Robotic process automation, or RPA, can mimic the repetitive and menial tasks of human workers, freeing them to perform more critical and strategic functions, and its use is growing exponentially. Giving AP leaders in line of business approvers access to invoices via mobile devices is a proven way to reduce invoice approval times, especially now when many are working from home. And the incorporation of agile reporting dashboards with real-time access to the data in the database from the procure-to-pay solution have enhanced the capability of managers to react quickly to changes in their business. The state of accounts payable has not always been historically strong. In fact, it's been historically weak. Accounts payable was largely seen as a tactical back office function, a cost of doing business, a drain on company resources, a necessary evil. But that is changing. The accounts payable function has benefited from the digital transformation initiatives that businesses are now adopting. Research from Ardent Partners shows that in 2019, most businesses perceive AP as very or exceptionally valuable to their overall enterprise. There is no question that AP is a business function in the midst of significant change. But that change has not fully arrived. AP leaders now have an opportunity to spark the AP function's journey forward into a more strategic function. AP has learned, excuse me, AP has earned its recognition by making some major strides over the past few years. First, more AP leaders are transforming their process capabilities. This provides AP with more opportunities to provide value to their stakeholders. Second, AP is serving a more critical role in how other, more strategic enterprise units can function. For example, procurement can benefit from the power of AP's ability to close the procure-to-pay loop in a more efficient manner. And Treasury can use the day-to-day insights of what AP is doing and processing to understand the impact on the business financial health. And third, AP is doing a better job of tapping into the gold mine of data on which it sits. AP data can spark real intelligence in how the enterprise is performing, from a spend management perspective and a cash management perspective. AP information can provide value to stakeholders across the enterprise. For CFOs, vice presidents of finance, and department leaders, it means developing a wide range of analytics to process and parse more data. For treasurers, it means collaborating and working more closely with AP to optimize the organization's working capital. For procurement leaders, it means working with AP to better understand traditional buying patterns and supplier relationships, develop optimal buying strategies. And as for budget holders and business stakeholders, it means having 360-degree visibility into their spend in order to identify the current situation. Stakeholders can use this information to make more informed planning, budgeting, and buying decisions for their business. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your attention and your participation.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peter. We do have a couple of questions here. So I'm going to just cover up some follow-up items, and then we'll go ahead and get into our question and our answer portion, if that's okay with you. And then let me know when you can see my screen. All right.
We can see it.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So, all right. So just as a reminder, we just wanted to let you guys know that all the resources that we have currently listed on the screen we have webcast, newsletters, resource center, we have workshops, and we also have our YouTube channel, which is where we put all of our recorded webcasts on. So this one will be up there on YouTube as well. If you'd like to sign up for any of these weekly reminders, just go up to go to getgsi.com, go to resources and events. And then you can click on whatever one you would like to choose, whether it be newsletters, and then you can go ahead and sign up for weekly reminders. All right, and erptalk.com, which is a problem-solving forum where you can get all of your questions answered to all of your ERP questions, as well as provide answers to others that have asked questions. And be sure to stay in touch with us on social media. All of our handles are currently listed on the screen. We share our most up-to-date events, webcasts, industry insights, and a whole lot more too. All right, so we do have a couple of questions here. Peter, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So our first question today is, does your solution handle global operations? And is workflow a part of the solution?
It's a good question because many companies today have global operations. So remembering that Canon, we use solutions, and Canon is a global company, we have global capabilities for our AP automation solutions. We actually support 137 different languages and all the major currencies as well. And we utilize our workflow as part of that. So our workflow can traverse your enterprise regardless of where it is located in the world. And if you have those types of requirements and you have very complex workflows, our workflow is really the one you want to utilize.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then our next question is, how is your solution different from template-based solutions?
No, that's even a better question because I didn't mention that myself. Our OCR, or optical character recognition capability, is not a template-based solution. Where most OCR technologies today require you to build a template for every one of your suppliers, which models the format of their invoices. Otherwise, it won't find the correct information. The problem with that, however, is that you have to maintain all of those templates. So you may have thousands of suppliers. That means thousands of templates that you have to maintain. Every time one of those suppliers changes their invoice in any way, it will not work. And so it's a huge task. So our OCR technology is an intelligent OCR technology. It actually extracts all the information off the invoice and then parses it with various business technology and intelligence that we incorporate to be able to identify the information on that invoice that is required in order to be able to process it and actually generate a voucher at the end of the process. So it's a non-template based solution. You don't have to have any templates or the maintenance that goes with them. And by the way, it incorporates artificial intelligence. So as it goes forward, it continues to learn. So if you have a particular supplier that has a very unique type of invoice that perhaps they don't even identify the invoice number by saying invoice number, they just have a number in a specific location on their invoice. After the first time, our OCR technology will recognize where it is and will find it immediately for that specific supplier. That's part of the AI learning technology that we've incorporated into our optical character recognition part of the solution.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to just check for any more. Okay. It looks like that's all of the questions that we have for the day. I want to thank you to say a bit, if I could talk, I'm so sorry. I wanted to thank you, Peter and Lisa, for joining us today, and everybody for attending this session. And just to let you know, you will be receiving a survey when you exit, and you will be receiving a link to our resource center where you can access a copy of today's recording as well as the presentation. Again, thank you all, and we hope that you have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.